Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today as well. If you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button, give it a like. Greatly appreciate all of the support. So with that being said, let's tackle something today that for me, this is important. I think we're going to talk today about the 5 most underrated bourbons, in my opinion, that are out there kind of within the market today. So stick around here. We're going to talk about that today on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a few honorable mentions right out of the gate. So I think if you can get these 3 bourbons or anything within this kind of lineup, I think let's just start with the Bernheim, their barrel proof wheat whiskey. I think it's a very, very underrated whiskey overall. And if you can get it for that 65 bucks, there's something about these wheat whiskeys, them coming from Heaven Hill, that have really, really kind of piqued my interest in the last maybe year or two and have some absolutely tremendous flavors to them. So anything from Bowman Brothers, I think there's a few within the lineup. They kind of fly under the radar a little bit, this just being their standard small batch. Great little everyday pour, but again, it's one that kind of flies under the radar. To me, still kind of gets classified as a very underrated type of bourbon. And again, I think the Old Fitz 7-year wheated bourbon, man, this one got a lot of hype like early on, I think for good reason, and then kind of just fell flat a little bit. Why? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe because it's a wheater or whatever, but it's a very, very good 100 proof bottle, and one that if you're able to find it, at that maybe $60 type price point, you're doing a really good job. So I wanted to kind of lead with a few honorable mentions before we kind of got into the main list of what I consider maybe the 5 or the top 5 underrated bourbons here in 2026. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the list of the 5 most underrated bourbons. Right out of the gate, we're going to hit you guys with one that has been around for quite some time. And still, to me, this Old Forester Signature 100 is such a fantastic bourbon at 100 proof, at right around that $25, maybe $30 price point, readily available. It just sits on shelves. Nobody still really talks about it much. And again, it's why I have this one on the list of one of my 5 most underrated bourbons. And I guess I'll just say, with a lot of these that are going to be on here, they're all going to be readily available, that just kind of continue to sit on the shelves. Maybe some hype behind a couple of them early on and then just kind of disappeared, and now they just sit there and nobody really ever talks about it. So my number 1 right out of the gate, not necessarily number 1 overall, but first out of the gate, the Old Forester Signature 100. If you can find this thing for 30 bucks, I would say it works extremely well for not only as a sipper, but if you want to use it for cocktails, it's priced maybe friendly enough for that. Great proof point for cocktails. But overall, as a sipping bourbon, man, this thing just does not get talked about nearly enough. And I just want to kind of build it up a little bit more because it should have a little bit more respect behind it than it does. So there you have it, the Old Forester Signature 100 right out of the gate. All right, so here we are, Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond 100 proof, Heaven Hill Distillery, heritage brand. Not much more you can say. For me, this is a bourbon that just simply does not get, I think, enough respect for what it is. It's a 7-year age-stated 100 proof bourbon that in my eyes punches way above its belt, way above its kind of bourbon class, if you want to call it that. Readily available. I mean, it just has, I think, just about everything that a bourbon lover can really enjoy about a really great bourbon. It has just every characteristic that you can think of, like all the tried and true vanillas, caramels, great oak, really nice long finish, has a nice oily, rich texture to it. It just has everything. To me, it's maybe one of the bourbons that I recommend to an awful lot of people. And people ask oftentimes, hey, I'm just either getting into bourbon, what would you recommend? I say start here. This will give you an idea of those classic bourbon profiles, maybe with a little bit more oak than what a lot of others will have. Really good rich texture. This will kind of set the tone for where you go, in your bourbon journey, so to speak. So having this bourbon on this specific list, I feel, again, it just deserves way more respect, way more attention, and it's why I have the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond on here and one of my 5 most underrated bourbons. All right, so I don't know if this one is one that doesn't get talked about a lot. It does. However, I feel like most people are always or only talking about their cast strength stuff. And as good as Still Austin is in doing cast strength bourbons, I think for a lot of their other whiskeys, their other bourbon, their other ryes, their other 100 proof bourbons, their other 100 proof ryes, they do so many things very, very well that a few of these, and I'll say even the cast strength stuff at times, feels like it just flies under the radar. With these being on most shelves, again, it's one that I don't feel gets maybe the attention or as much respect as it can. And maybe it has a little bit to do with the fact that it's coming from Texas, and anybody who doesn't necessarily know more about Still Austin may think that this is just going to fall into that kind of standard Texas whiskey kind of category, and really maybe somebody who's had some before from another distillery wasn't crazy about the profile. Well, I'll tell you this. I think, in my opinion, what it is that Still Austin does, it is absolutely fantastic. And that's not even just saying from a Texas bourbon standpoint or Texas whiskey standpoint. That's overall. But if we do limit it to Texas only, in my opinion, they do it maybe the best. So that's why I had to have Still Austin on here, is that maybe to try to garner a little bit more attention to or away from some of their cast strength things, bourbons or ryes, over to maybe some of their 100 proof stuff. I mean, they've got, their regular bourbon. I mean, they've got the red corn, they've got the blue corn, they've got a lot of other different things that are different proofs that just kind of fall into that category of them being way overlooked. And if you can find some of those, give them a try. I think you'll be very, very impressed with what Still Austin has to offer outside of just the cast strength version. So that was kind of, for me, why I wanted to have Still Austin as one of my 5 most underrated bourbons or whiskeys out on the market today. All right, so let's go with this bad boy. From Jim Beam, we've got the Old Grandad 114. And man, it's hard to find something with this kind of proof, that price point of maybe between that $20 and $25 price point. The flavor profile that it has, the overall richness, the texture that it has, again, flavor profile, like I had mentioned, all of that for that price with that kind of proof point, it just sits on shelves. I know a few years back, people kind of scooped it all up because there was some chatter about, it being discontinued. Well, ultimately it wasn't. Now it just sits there, kind of almost as a bottom shelfer that you'll find at just about any liquor store, grocery store, wherever you're able to find really good bourbons, or any bourbons to that matter. You're going to find, from Jim Beam, the Old Grandad 114. And it's just a testament to Jim Beam in what it is that they do overall, and the umbrella, their portfolio of whiskeys, that this is a bourbon that can just sit on the shelves and collect dust and kind of get left behind a little bit. I think people kind of talk a little bit about it, about, Old Grandad 114, but then you never see anybody buying it or anything along those lines. So I still feel like it just doesn't get the respect that it probably deserves. And it's why I've got the Old Grandad 114 as one of my 5 underrated bourbons. So if you see it out there in the wild and you haven't somehow tried the Old Grandad 114 yet, man, pick up a bottle. Let me know what you think of it. But in my opinion, it's one of the better bottles that are out there in that kind of price category that you're going to get, especially to find something that's got a little higher proof to it and everything else it has, kind of going for it. So there you have it. There's the Old Granddad 114, and it's why it's one of my 5 most underrated bourbons. All right, so here we are. We're wrapping up the list of the 5 most underrated bourbons, and we're gonna go with the Four Roses Small Batch Select. Maybe not the most expensive bourbon on here, maybe second most behind some of the Still Austin stuff, but I'm gonna say for between $50 and $60, you know, give or take one way or the other. The Four Roses Small Batch Select, to me, oftentimes like Four Roses in blinds, kind of just gets a little left behind. With that being said, the Four Roses Small Batch Select, to me, maybe outside of their single barrel, or even their cast strength single barrels, this is maybe one of the better bourbons that comes from Four Roses Distillery. And if it's not the best, it's really, really darn close to even some of their LEs that they've had. I've had this in the mix before with other LEs and have had the actual Four Roses Small Batch Select beat out 1 or 2 of the LEs within that blind. Now, this is a mixture of 6 different recipes. And when they released this maybe a few years ago, it was everything that we as bourbon enthusiasts, consumers, asked from Four Roses. They delivered, and in my opinion, they delivered, you know, one of the best. And I think what you're getting with that blend of recipes, you're just getting a very, very everyday, rich Four Roses profile. I mean, to me, again, at 104 proof, non-chill filtered, it's a fantastic bourbon. If you're a Four Roses fan, I think you kind of know what I'm referring to. If you're not, and or maybe haven't had a lot of experience with some of the Four Roses stuff, I would highly, highly recommend picking this bottle up. For me, this has changed the minds of an awful lot of people. It gets so left behind where everybody wants to always talk about not only their LEs, but the Four Roses single barrel. To me, this is better than the Four Roses single barrel. To me, it is. I just think it has a little bit more going on, and I like how it's a little bit more similar in profile to their limited edition releases that they have every year. This just has a lot more of that kind of characteristic to it that I like from Four Roses. And, you know, it's just one of those bourbons that for a lot of people a few years ago was their whiskey of the year. After that, it just seemed to kind of sit there on the shelves and nobody ever kind of talks about it anymore. It's still one that I try to keep around the house at all times. I love it. It's just a profile that I can constantly go to, that I enjoy and know exactly what I'm going to get from it. So if you're out there and you haven't tried a Four Roses Small Batch Select, I would highly, highly encourage you to find a bottle, give it a try. Let me know your thoughts, you know, once you kind of get into that a little bit. But it's why I had to have the Four Roses Small Batch Select on this list of the 5 most underrated bourbons. All right, so there we go. So there is my 5 most underrated bourbons, along with a few of the honorable mentions. So now let me hear from you. I want to know your thoughts on, you know, in your opinion, are any or are all of these a bit of an underrated bourbon in your eyes? So to me, they were for a lot of different reasons, and I think we kind of went over a little bit of that today. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Greatly appreciate it, as always. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook and Instagram, those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel and become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, make sure you check out that Patreon link in the description below. That down there with a lot of other great things for you as well. So again, thank you guys as always, and for all of the support. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And with that, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers, and we'll see you guys in the next video.